Welcome, everybody, back to Honor Tube, and on this edition, we are covering Ring of Honor television show number 522. And this show was dedicated to the Pure Division, and they had two matches. The first match was a six-man gauntlet match to determine, I guess, a solid ranking in the Pure Division. They didn't say if you win this, you'll get a title shot. It's just, I guess, to figure out the pecking order or the rankings, basically, of the Pure Division. So, and then the main event was Mike Bennett and Rhett Titus in a Pure Division match. So it was all about the Pure Division here, which I thought was really cool. I thought a missed opportunity was to interview or have a promo with the new Pure champion, Josh Woods, who defeated Jonathan Gresham at Death Before Dishonor at the pay-per-view. So I thought that was a miss by Ring of Honor. And I'm going to quickly go through the results here of the Pure Gauntlet match. And there were 6 competitors. This match started off with world-famous CB over Eric Martin. Then Delirious over world-famous CB. Then LSG over Delirious. LSG over Joe Keys. And then finally, Brian Johnson over LSG. This kind of showed that the Pure Division needs some beefing up. I think with credible contenders, and I'm not knocking any of these guys in this tournament, but you know, I like Joe Keys, I like Eric Martin. I think they have a ton of potential as young wrestlers. LSG, I really like. He has a lot of fire, energy. Brian Johnson's a great talker, good wrestler. Delirious, he's kind of in and out because, you know, he books Ring of Honor, so he's not on every show or featured, but he still gets in there from time to time, and as he showed here, and he can still go. He's in great shape. He looks great. I always got a kick out of Delirious. And world famous CB, I'm not trying to knock Cheeseburger or world famous CB. I like him, but it's hard for me to get into his matches because he's so small and thin, and when he's not being just a gimmick where he's the little guy that takes the heat in a tag match, or a little guy that's in a battle royal surviving against all odds. Like, I think that's where he works really well, and I can easily get behind that. But when he's chain wrestling, locking up with bigger guys, and it's just visually, it just doesn't make sense, and it visually just kind of puts you back in, like, it takes you out of the suspension of disbelief. So, like I said, early on in this match, it just wasn't exciting. With CB, with Eric Martin, it wasn't much of a match. It's a quick match. It was just show that that CB, he just has a strong IQ, and he was able to make Eric Martin, the rookie, quickly go to rope breaks while he puts him in certain positions to take the rope. And it was cool, but it wasn't that exciting or anything of interest. And Delirious and CB is a big, because they were both. Delirious trained CB, and that was part of the story there. And Delirious still wins. It's kind of funny. He still won over. I thought maybe CB would win here, but Delirious did pick it up because Delirious, when CB would do his chaining, it feels like it's just flowing and kind of going through the motions. There's no struggle. There's no, I don't know. I'm not believing it. I just don't believe it. Things did pick up with LSG and Delirious. That was pretty good. I like Joe Keys a lot. I think he's a lot of potential. He just doesn't show much charisma out there. He has a lot of the same face the whole match. And, once he starts opening up more with his personality within the ring, has some character moments. I guess maybe he doesn't know what his character is right now. He's just Joe Keys, the wrestler, because he's still in the all black tights, trunks, the young boy out of the Ring of Honor dojo. Same with Eric Martin. I think eventually those guys will open up once they graduate to beyond the dojo. But yeah, I like them. I think they're some good young competitors. And I liked the match with LSG. I think LSG is pretty underrated. I like his work. He did a great job, selling into really selling into the final with Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson comes out. And here's what I thought was a miss. I don't mind Brian Johnson in the pure division. I think he adds a nice element to it. But he comes in and, he quickly gets a rope break because LSG gets a submission hold, which I thought that was cool. 47 seconds in, he's already grabbing a rope and freaking out. But then he takes a cheap shot with a punch. Boom. And the referee warns him because if you do 2 punches, that's a disqualification. He did 1 punch. So as a referee was distracted, giving the announcement to the ring announcer to announce that warning for the punch. That's when Brian Johnson took advantage, jumped into the ring, feet on the ropes, 1, 2, 3, and pinned LSG. And without the crowd there, without even crowd sweetening to the television show, it's like almost like the heat misses. But I know what they're going for. They're going for some heat here. Brian Johnson's a heel, and he won by cheating, but it just almost just feels flat when you do this. So I think Brian Johnson might be best not in the pure division. I think, honestly, Brian Johnson would be best in the manager / wrestler, player, coach / wrestler role. Like, think Piper 84 with Bob Orton, something like that. A guy that he can talk for, who's a big guy, intimidating guy, because I think that will work for him. I think eventually, Brian Johnson it just would add something to his whole deal. If he had someone else that he's managing, teaming with, and getting heat for, someone really good too. Don't try to get some green kid. I would really find some good talent out there to really put with him. Maybe someone as loud and crazy as Brian Mecca. But it was fine. It was, I think, all in all, a miss. Ultimately, I think right after the pay-per-view too, they had this big old speech with Jay Lethal in the ring about the pure division, etc. It's all, they're making a big push for this division, and it's been one of the highlights. But when you start off with world famous CBE, Eric Martin, Joe Keys, Delirious, you could see that this division needs some beefing up of star power. And that's where I felt like, at first I'm like, Gauntlet, okay. I prefer the tournament format. I think when they started off with the tournament format, when they brought back the pure division, I thought that was a huge success for Ring of Honor. A lot of people were talking about it. I remember getting a lot of emails, people telling me that to check it out, that I would like it because, the sport aspect of it. And I did. I really did. That's what kind of hooked me into Ring of Honor and why I started this YouTube page. And I was thinking, like, man, more people need to talk about Ring of Honor. They've been doing some good stuff, and I feel like they've been kind of ignored lately. But like, if a new fan and viewer is gonna check this out and they see this to open it up, I think they'll be like, well, these are the best. No, man, they got better guys, as the main event would prove in this pure division. But they definitely need to beef up the division more and get a few new talents. Like, where was Taylor Russ? Why is he not in this thing? I know Jake Atlas had some issues and he's taking a break from wrestling right now, but Taylor Russ had a win. Depends when this was taped. Why isn't he in it? So I love the pure division. I just want to see them, again, I think it's go out there, find some new talent, find some great unsigned talent, young guys out. There's a lot of young workers who are pretty sensational that are not working in AEW, not working in Impact, that you can lock up and groom. Don't look for always the free agents, right, that just got released from WWE. Look for the guys that you could find and groom. So, again, this is one you could probably skip and just go to the main event. But that's my opinion on this match. And thanks for listening to Honor 2. Thank you.